As publishers of the classic Wizardry series, Surtech is no stranger to role-playing games. Druid, their next RPG, departs from the traditional formula for the genre. We recently had the opportunity to speak with Brenda Garno, who wrote the story and dialogue, and asked her just what was special about this new title. Though Druid is intended to appeal to experienced gamers, some deliberate choices have been made to enhance its appeal to newer players.
Most role-playing games have 4 gazillion stats, 4 million substats, 1,000 skills, just all kinds of crazy stuff. And I've been real role-playing for many, many, many years now. And I know that you only need a certain base amount of skills, and those base skills, you can calculate everything from those. So we really tried to bring role-playing back to its true perspective in that regard, which hopefully will make players that are new to the genre not feel like, oh my goodness, what the heck do I do with all these things?
Druid also has a sharper look than many RPGs. The game has been rendered in its entirety, but the artists have deliberately invested time in roughing up the artwork to avoid giving the game a rendered feel.
What they did is took it an extra step. I mean, everything, every single thing in that game is rendered. The stairs, the candles, the pictures, the everything. But they roughed it up. They gave it better textures. I don't know if you've seen the Snow and Ice world, but that's just incredibly hip because I don't remember seeing Snow and Ice. I've seen us try it before in games and it just didn't work. So no one else obviously ever saw that. But by taking it that extra step and just saying, oh, maybe players are actually still interested in this being art, and not doing the full motion video, but having something that actually looked kind of real, by taking away that, that shiny look, shall we say, of the 3D stuff. The artists, I think, again, did a great job, and I think it'll show in the game because the castle walls look like castle walls. They don't look like something that's rendered.
Such small touches are often unobtrusive, but contribute greatly to making a game feel realistic. In light of this, the developers invested a lot of time in adding features that are extremely cool, although you might not sit up and take notice of them immediately.
I started noticing after I'd hacked off this one guy, I come back to the screen and there's like more blood around his body, and then the blood pool gets bigger, and then his body starts to turn a little gray. And every time I'd walk by this guy into this particular scene, he was like getting worse and worse and worse. And I mean, so it's gross, but I think it's a really kind of funky, disgusting element. And that's in the game with all the monsters. Well, anything you kill decomposes like I suppose it should.
The game uses a simple point-and-click interface. Click on a place and your character walks there. Click on an object and you get information about it. And when you enter combat, you simply click on your foe to swing, with a few extra considerations.
It's real time in that you do have time to make decisions and time to think about what you want to do. You want to cast a spell, but if you stand there for a long enough time, I'm going to realize as a DM, just like the game realizes that, you're puttering around, sorry, I'm going to hit you.
Even the magic system dodges the genre conventions, bypassing cryptic runes and mixing of regions in favor of a simple and logical element-based style that pays homage to the Celtic lore from which it's drawn.
Here's how magic works. If you know the 4 elements, you now understand magic. It's that easy. If you went out in your yard and you took some dirt, some earth, and you added some water, now you have mud. So you can, in the game, throw that mud at an enemy. But let's say you wanted to make it a little stronger. Well, now you get a piece of earth, in this case it would be some matter, set it on fire, add air to it to make that move. Now you've got a fireball. You want molten lava. Well, fine. Now you've got to get maybe a little more earth, some fire, some water, and then you can hurl that. Any way that you would mix the elements and logically think in your mind, yeah, it would make this, chances are it will in the game.
All in all, Druid is an ambitious project. It hopes to attract new gamers to a genre which has traditionally been difficult to approach. This October, we'll get a chance to see whether they're visionary, or perhaps just as crazy as some other people who live in their part of the world.
Apparently this guy ran up Ford Street, which happens to be the street I live on, with a samurai sword. He ran for like 7 blocks because someone had said something to his mother. He was chasing a guy in a car with a samurai sword.